Hello and welcome to our Yin Yoga practice. We'll start in our comfortable seated position, so it might be crossed legs, legs out in front, whatever resonates with you. And wherever we are, we've got the eyes closed to start. Take the opportunity to settle yourself here. Start to gently close off the external world and open the door to your inner world. Notice your body on your mat. Notice how you're feeling in your body today. Bring your awareness to your natural breath. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Notice the depth of your breath. We'll consciously start to lengthen out here through the breath. Drawing the breath in through the nose, we're breathing deeply all the way down into the lower belly. Smooth, rhythmic breath. And we'll move through a few rounds now of our cleansing breaths. So spine is long. Take an inhale here deeply through the nose. As we exhale, we'll exhale audibly through the mouth. Moving through that again as we inhale. One more round of the same here with your breath. Return now to your natural breath. Notice how you're feeling in your body. Notice the way in which the breath is now flowing through the body. Before we start to move into the practice, I'll ask that you set yourself a Sankalpa intention for your practice. Just notice what comes to mind for you here. How do you want to feel at the end of your practice? Can you tap into that feeling now before we begin? As we inhale, we can gently open the eyes, bring the hands to heart center. Take an exhale here. As we inhale, draw the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Part the middle 3 fingers, so we're taking our lotus mudra. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, draw the arms wide. Exhale, hands through heart center, coming into lotus mudra. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. We'll move through one more round of the same here with our breath. From here we can close off the palms and then bring the hands to rest to the front of the knees. We'll move through a seated cat-cow pose. As we inhale, start to open up through the front body, lift up through your heart center, lift your gaze. Exhale, tuck your chin, rounding your back out. Moving through again, inhale through front body. Exhale, back body opening. We'll move through 3 more rounds of the same. And we can flow through at our own pace here. Starting to bring a little bit more movement, some heat into the spinal column, into the body. Inhale, coming back to center. Bring the hands to prayer position. Exhale, and then we inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, bring your left fingertips to the mat, draw the right arm across the ear. Inhale to center. Exhale, right fingertips to the mat, draw the left arm across the ear. Inhale to center. We'll keep working in this way for the next few breaths. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands through heart center. From here, we'll come over onto hands and knees. We'll bring the knees wide, hips to heels, coming into forward stretch with the arms long. So here in forward stretch, we want to ground down through the palms and the finger pads of our hands. So you can feel the arms engage. Breathe into your back body here. Feel your back and side ribs expand and contract with your breath. Maybe we can press our hips back a little bit closer towards our heels. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, slowly lift the head and come on up to sitting. We're coming into our first yin hold, which is going to be our toe squat. So I'll show you a couple of different options here. So the strongest variation we're going to take is we can tuck the toes under, rest the hips back towards the heels. We can turn the palms facing up, resting the hands in our lap. Spine is long, and this is where we work. So we can feel straight away this is a really strong opening for the feet and the ankles. So the second option is to untuck the toes, hips to heels. Spine is long and eyes are closed down. Even if you would like to try and take the stronger variation, then if you need to, untuck the toes and then come down hips to heels. So find your comfortable position here. Spine is long, shoulder blades rest flat against the back. Eyes are closed down, and we can bring our awareness now to our feet. So we can feel here, getting a nice strong opening here through our feet, and our feet probably don't get worked very often in this way. Our feet are taking us everywhere that we need to go each day, and so it's a really nice opportunity to give our feet the love and attention and fresh, clean energy that they deserve. Just embrace this really strong opening here in the feet. And we can feel here we're also working through our ankles, the Achilles tendon. Lots of lower body energy moving through this space. Just bring your awareness to your breath. As we move through our practice, we're aiming for a smooth, deep, rhythmic breath. We can inhale to about the count of either 4 or 5. And then the same on the exhale, count of 4 or 5. You might even be able to extend your exhale out by an extra second. So getting this rhythmic, cyclical quality of the breath. You'll start to feel your feet working here. They're talking to you very loudly. So as long as we're not experiencing any pain here, we can just stay in the pose for just a little bit longer. As we inhale, we can gently open the eyes, and we'll bring ourselves over onto hands and knees. Just give the feet an opportunity here to release. Feel that really strong rush of energy moving through the feet, and just as a little counterbalance, just gently tap the tops of your feet. Find your comfortable seated position here again. We'll just pause here, eyes are closed. Taking the opportunity to pause between each pose to give ourselves time to absorb the effects of each pose. Inhale, gently open the eyes. So if you're comfortable in your seated position, you can stay as you are. If not, move yourself now into an alternative comfortable seat. And we're coming into our next pose. I'm just going to turn around so I can show you what I'm doing here with my arms. And we won't be here for too long. So the first option we're going to take is reverse prayer. So we can bring the arms behind us and bring our hands into this prayer position. So this is really quite a strong pose to hold. We want to make sure we can keep the spine nice and long and the shoulders moving away from the ears. The second option, if this one's not quite comfortable for you, is we're going to bring the arms behind the back and just take a hold of the opposite elbows here. And same again, we want to lengthen out through the spine. We've got even weight between the left and right sit bones. Shoulders are relaxed, and once we're there, we can close the eyes down. And just notice the feeling of this pose in your body today. So you can feel here we're getting a nice opening here through the chest into the shoulders and the arms. And again, this might not be a position in the body that we would find ourselves in very often, so it may or may not feel like a comfortable experience for you here. But whatever we discover, we can find some comfort here in the pose. We've got our smooth, rhythmic breath. And if you happen to find that your mind is wandering and you need a focal point for the mind, we'll now bring the awareness to the third eye center, space between the eyebrows. And just hold your awareness in this space for the duration of the pose. Just remaining still here, we're starting to bring some stillness into the mind. Three more breaths here before we start to transition out of the pose. As we inhale, we can gently open the eyes and gently unwrap the arms. Again, come back to your comfortable seat. Close your eyes down once again. Pausing here, noticing the space that we've created through the arms, the chest, the shoulders. Gently open the eyes. From here we're coming into our next pose, which is Supta Virasana, so it's our supine hero's pose. So I'm going to give you a couple of different options because again this is a little bit of an obscure pose for the body to be in. Okay, so what we need to do is we can come over onto hands and knees. So if you think that you might take the reclining variation of this pose, if you've got a bolster at home, we can bring that behind us or pile up a couple of cushions or bed pillows. And we can start by coming over onto hands and knees. And then we're going to move the flesh of our calf muscles out to the side, so that we can start to lower the hips down onto the mat. And then we can move the feet out a little bit wider. So for a large majority of us, this is probably not going to be the most peaceful place for the body to be. If you think that you might like to stay seated in this pose and you need more height under your hips, you can take a hold of your block or your improvised block, such as a book or something like that, or a cushion, and pop it under your sit bones. And if we're going to stay seated in the pose, this is where we stay. The spine is long. You can rest the hands in our lap, palms facing up, shoulders relaxed, and the eyes are closed. So that's the first option. The second option is now to come into a supine variation, and for some of us this might actually be a more comfortable spot for the body to rest. So from here we've got our hero's pose set up with the legs, and then we start to bring the torso down. So one arm at a time, come on down. If you're quite open in your body, you might not even need your support here, so you could take your bolster or your cushions out and lower the back body all the way down onto your mat. So really dynamic pose. If you want a little bit more support, we're going to take a hold of our cushions or our bolster and lay the back body down. So just decide here which option is going to enhance your practice for you today. If we're laying down, find a comfortable position for the arms. So it might be beside the body, You might draw the arms up and overhead and really just open up even deeper through that front body. One last variation, if neither of those two resonate with your body today, is we bring the back body onto the mat and we walk the feet out really wide onto the mat, and then all we're going to do here is knock the knees together. Third option for you. So a bit of a different pose, but we're still getting that internal rotation of the hip. So find where you want to be, wriggle around, get as comfortable as you can be in the pose. Once we're there, we've got the eyes closed. We'll remain still in the pose. And straight away we can feel this really strong opening here. So I've already done a little bit of opening in the lower body so far. So we can feel that we're working through the tops of our feet, the ankle, knee and hip joints. If we've got some cushions or our bolster underneath the torso, we can feel a nice opening through the front body, so opening up through stomach and gallbladder meridians. Again, seemingly the theme of our practice for today, this is not a typical way in which you'd shape your body in your daily activities, I assume. So it might feel like a little bit of a foreign opening for your body. It might not feel as if it is the most comfortable position for your body to rest. And that's often the case with our yin practice. So there is a level of work in our yin practice. There's still it's still quite a dynamic practice, although we're being still in the body, we're still working really deeply into the layers of the body. So ligaments and tendons and the joints and the fascia of the body, it takes a minimum of 2.5 minutes for us to get ourselves into those deep layers of the body. And that's one of the reasons why we hold for such a long period of time. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Have you still got your flowing, even, rhythmic breath, drawing energy into the body? Notice any emotional reactions that you may be experiencing in this pose. Breathe deeply all the way down into your low belly. We'll spend another 5 of our deep breaths here before we start to transition out of the pose. If we're in our supine variation here, to come out of the pose, we want to tuck the chin towards the chest. We can press our hands into the soles of our feet, so you may need to come up one side at a time, or you might be able to come up both at the same time. Gently start to bring yourself back up into that seated position. So we're all moving together from here. We can start to lift the hips up. Come over onto your hands and knees. Just pause here for a second. So we're just giving the legs the opportunity to gently stretch out. So from here you might extend one leg out, nice little stretch, and then we'll extend the other leg out. And release. find your comfortable seated position here again, the eyes closed. Notice and absorb the effects of that last pose. We can feel here a really strong rush of energy moving, particularly through the lower half of the legs. We can feel that we've created space in the inner hips. Inhale, gently open the eyes. And from here, we'll bring ourselves down onto our mat. And we're just feeling the mat beneath us here. Now from here, we're going to cross our right ankle over the left knee. And then we're going to draw the knees towards our chest and take a hold of either the back of the left thigh or the front of the left knee, which is a little bit stronger. So straight away, we're going to feel that opening through the outer right hip. Relax your back body back down into your mat. Spine is long, smooth, flowing breath. And we want to breathe into the outer right hip. So you can feel that nice hip stretch here. And again, working the stomach and gallbladder meridian so that those two meridians will run through the outsides of your legs and then come up through the front of the body. And we can visualize those two meridians, those organs being restored with energy. Just notice if you're holding on to any residual tension or unconsciously holding tension in your body. And if you find that you are, just make an effort now to start to surrender that. Start to relax your body. Start to create space. Just a few more breaths here before we start to move ourselves out of the pose. From here, gently release, keeping the legs crossed as they are. We're coming into a twist. So we're going to move those feet or the legs over to the left side of the mat. You can rest your left hand to the outer right thigh. Draw the right arm out to shoulder height. We can turn the gaze in that direction. Eyes are closed. We've got both of our shoulders grounded down to the mat. And here we're in a nice rotation, so we've got that nice rotation and energy moving through the spinal column. Getting a nice stretch, nice release here through the lower back. And our twists are always very cleansing and detoxing for both the physical body and also the emotional body. So we can visualize here that we're wringing out those digestive organs. Ask yourself what you can let go of here that no longer serves you. What are you wringing out of your life? Let's spend another 5 of our deep breaths here. As we inhale, slowly start to release. Bring yourself back to center. Pausing in the center here, realign the spine so the spine's nice and long in your mat. And just notice and absorb the effects of our last two poses. Once you feel ready to come over to the other side, we'll now cross the left ankle over the right knee. We'll start to draw the feet in towards the body, so we can either take a hold of the back of the right thigh or the front of your right knee. Just relax your back body down onto the mat, eyes are closed. And we're now working into the outer left hip, so this is where we can breathe into this space. Notice if this side feels different from the first, so it might feel more spacious than the right. It might feel a lot tighter for you than the right side did. And we will often find slight imbalance between the sides when we practice this kind of yoga, because we do have more of an opportunity to observe our response and our reaction to particular poses. Breathe into your outer left hip. Create space here. Spend another 3 of our deep breaths here before we start to move ourselves out of the pose. Inhale, gently release. Keep the legs as they are. Move the legs over towards the right side of your mat, coming into that twist. Left arm draws out to shoulder height, so we want to keep both of our shoulders grounded here. We're gazing over the left fingertips, and once we're set up, we can close your eyes down. So here again, getting that nice cleansing, detoxing action, so we can visualize here that we're cleansing and detoxing digestive organs. We can visualize here that we're bringing fresh, clean energy into the body as we get rid of any old stagnant energy from the body, creating space here. So sometimes when we're in a twisting rotation pose, our breath may feel as if it's not got the space to be as full as it is in our other poses. So when we're feeling perhaps that little bit of restriction here, we want to make sure we can still maintain the deep breath. And your breath will be still deep and flowing and full, but we've been practicing for a little while now, so the breath may start to soften as your body starts to soften. Just a few more breaths here before we start to transition out of the pose. As we inhale, gently unwrap, coming back to center, realign your spine. Just pausing here in the center, eyes are closed. Notice and absorb the effects of our last two poses. From here we can draw the knees in towards our chest, and we'll just start to roll around in one direction. Get that nice little massage here for the lower back. Come back in the opposite direction. Coming back to center, gently release. We're setting ourselves up now for our final rest in Shavasana. So you might like to take the traditional Shavasana with the legs nice and long, arms beside the body. You might like to bring some height under your back body here. So if you've got your bolster or your cushion still handy there, that might be a nice option for you as well. So wherever we are, have a nice little wriggle around, legs nice and long, feet flop out to the side. And the eyes are closed down. Just run a scan through your body here and notice if you may be holding on to any tension. If you are, make your conscious effort now to surrender, to relax the body, melt the body down into your mat. Feel the prana, life force energy buzzing around in your body here. If we can really tune into the body, we'll feel that energy moving through the body. This is our time for rest, for relaxation. We can remain present here with our breath. Start to deepen the breath here as we slowly prepare ourselves to gently come out of our practice. Breathing deeply, breathe into the entire length of your body. bring the left hand to rest over the heart center, the right hand over the navel center. And just feel the rise and fall of your chest with your breath. Invite a nice deep breath into the body, stretching out through arms and legs. Bending your knees and roll out to the right hand side. Just pause here for a few moments. And only once you feel ready, you can bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Eyes remain closed, or draw the hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, bowing the head down. And as we close our practice together, we're sending metta, loving kindness, out into the world. And saving a little bit for ourselves too. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.